Every weekend, I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannons. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
Good evening, sim racing fans. Welcome to SRW TV. Tonight we jump back into the world of open wheelers for round 7 of season 4 of the Shannons Formula 3 Nationals. We leave the events of the Nürburgring behind us and head to the concrete jungle of Detroit Belle Isle for an action-packed sprint round here tonight. It's Cowan, your average sim racer here. Once again, I'm joined by Pete the Weapon Gretton, who's back again and sharing comm duties as well as these awesome camera shots you're getting there right now. Buddy, concrete jungle, back in the saddle for the right time. it's going to be pretty awesome here tonight, buddy.
Yeah, good evening, Cowie, and to all the viewers. It is going to be a great night of racing. I can't race at this track to save myself, especially in these cars, because the walls are that close to you. The track's pretty wide, though, but these guys, as we've seen in rounds gone by, Cowie, they're not scared to go 2, 3, 4 wide in the corners, but it's very undulated, very unlevel surface on this track, so that's an added difficulty, and we'll get some great onboard shots and listen to the cars scraping in certain tracks of the certain areas of the track.
Look, it is one of those places, I think, just about every time I've raced around here in a V8, I don't think I've escaped without at least some sort of scrape on the side of the car. We all know what happens to an F3 if you even look at it funny. So if it scrapes the wall around here, there's not going to be much left of it. So these guys, like, as you said, will have to be ultra careful. They have showed their skill level time and time again. But a concrete jungle like this, mate, it only takes a mistake around a corner in a blind area, and you come around there, don't have much of a chance to survive. So we could see some big ramifications championship-wise tonight, buddy, if things go south for certain people.
Yeah, well, great segue. We've got the points to bring to you, Cowie, and it's pretty close up the top, especially in the pros. Paul Vella, though, 92 points out in front so far, and Karajar and De Bono are in a tight contest as well, if I'm showing the proper points, Cowie. It's pretty close up there with only a couple of rounds.
Look, it has been super close. I'm not sure if that's been updated since last week, because I seem to remember seeing similar numbers last week. But in any case, we do know that it's been really it's been a two-horse race for the past couple of seasons between Bill and Michael, who've been pushing each other. And now Dylan, after one round as a amateur, that was quickly dispelled. He was thrown into the pros and has been right at the top, battling hard and finishing with regular podiums. So it's awesome to have him right in the fray.
Yeah, a few names out there. Phil Vella, I think tonight's going to be one to watch. I was watching him through practice, and quite a few mishaps. I've seen also the guys getting it out of their system early. I may have gone a week too early with that bold prediction of 5 safety cars, but I'm not going with that prediction tonight. I'm still stewing on it and working on it.
Okay, alright, so you don't want me to put you under the spotlight on that just yet. That's fair enough. Give you a chance to have a bit of a think and see how quality starts to pan out. Remember, it's going to take these guys at least a couple of laps to get the tyres up to temp, so we're still keeping an eye on those times, but we can see guys in the 22s and the 23s at the moment, but I'm sure that they'll be finding a bit more time as the tyres get up to temp. But look, a couple of interesting things also for tonight. I think if Daniel Byrne scores 127 points or more tonight, he will likely lock out the F1 championship. So that's the congruent F1 championship that we're running now. This week we don't have Las Vegas here in iRacing just yet. The Formula 1 guys have only just had it recently. But this is the closest they've come up with, and I think it's an inspired choice, and the drivers talking a bit earlier, and it seems that the setup is well suited to here, and they're enjoying the drive, so that's awesome to hear.
Yeah, it is good. Not many places you go where you actually enjoy the drive, so I don't know how they enjoy this as we jump on board with Dylan Bird, who you're just speaking of, and pretty committed through there close to the walls, and check out the bumps in this track that I was talking to at the top.
I'm interested to see out those little micro corrections that he's making to the wheels. So that sort of tells you that there is a few bumps out there. But full throttle through there, that's a scary corner in the V8. Looks like it's when you get that line right. And just have a look how deep they're braking. Right now in the V8 supercar, you're braking as if there's an extra 500th board. He broke inside the 200 there. That's scary. That's just what you need to do in these cars. You need to send it to get that extra bit of aero working for you and really give you the downforce that you need to put a fast lap in. And we've seen it time and time again, those really quick guys are the ones that are able to just commit to that extra 10%, and that's when it gets scary.
Yeah, 1:21.786, the fastest time out there. Belle has just come into the 22 flat area, so still down on pace to burn, but
Put in a bit of work here, Daniel. Like, he's right at the top. We haven't seen his name at the top of the qualifying charts. He's been qualifying sort of in the mid-teens the last few seasons. Sorry, not seasons, I should say the last few races. But as far as his, there's been basically an F1 championship that's been going all year, and each week that the real F1 is racing, we've picked a track to represent that, and that season has been going all year. So, where iRacing does have the actual track, well, they race that one. If they don't, they choose something that they think is similar. But yeah, this is a great track. I think in any car, as you mentioned, those sort of changes of surface, a lot like Sebring. You know, you've got to be very careful of those bumps, but in a car that you've got to trust and send it to get the optimal performance, you can easily see where maybe one little bump at the wrong spot would turn this into an aeroplane.
And what about your prediction with safety cars? I'm going to see if you'll reveal yours, mate. I think I'm ready to reveal mine. What's your prediction?
I'm thinking we are going to maybe get through race number 1 without one, but I'm going to have 2 in the second race. So I'm going to say 2, with the caveat that I think the first race might be clean.
Because I'm known to make bold. Well, I did make a bold one last week. I'm going to go clean sweep. We're going to surprise everyone and go clean. We're going to go 0.
0. Oh, hey. So I think you've gone from one extreme to the other. But I do commend your bravery once again there. A couple other things to talk about. So yeah, Bella's still ahead at the moment. He's managed to make this week's race, but he will be away next week and possibly the last. So, you know, Phil will be looking to try and get as many points on the board as he can, especially on Cutter and DeBono, because he's probably going to miss those last 2 rounds.
Yeah, Cutter actually sitting just above him in the qualifying times as they stand by, not by much, by about a 10th.
Look at Grandpa, Doug Gowans. He's done a 21.46 to put himself right in the mix there as well. So finding some space, and we do know that he's just increased in confidence the more he's driven this car. And Doug seems to be one of those guys, when he enjoys driving a car, he'll put the work in. Did he make contact with the wall then?
I don't know, I jumped, the camera shot, didn't really show it, but yeah, he was committed.
Close. Oh, he's getting out of it, so I wouldn't be surprised. Oh no, he's slowed down just to let another driver through. And in the Pro-Am, Adam Simpson is leading Greg Bradley by 3 points. So it's pretty close there at the moment. Greg Bradley currently P5 overall. Adam in the qualifying, Adam Simpson P11. So Greg is looking to maybe take a hold of the Pro-Am Championship. As far as the AMs go, now I don't know if we've got that distinction in the SDK at the moment, buddy, but Matt Tessier is leading the AM Championship by 22. Cochrane got the win last outing and he's catching, and Sheepy's not too far behind, so a mistake from either of the other two may see him jump to the top of the AMs as well. So it's still pretty tight there across. Phil's got to make every point count, and Michael and Dylan, well, they'll be having their own sort of battle. Do we have Dylan DeBono tonight? I can't see his name out there at the moment there, buddy.
Yeah, Dylan DeBono's up on top at the moment, 121.185.
Oh, look at that, you're right. 121.19, so that is a crazy time. And, you know, Michael Cutter and Phil Bella, 4th and 5th at the moment. David Gallo, P6, so again leading that Kittens charge. He's been right on it as well. DeBono, here at the moment. We're seeing a few green sectors. We're starting to see some orange out there as well. 5 minutes left of qualifying, so if you're not out there and your tyres are up to temp, it's going to be hard to get it a better lap down now. So you're going to see these guys just continue and see what they can put down.
I believe this is a fixed setup too, Gowie, so they've got to wear down their tank.
That's exactly right, buddy. And because it's a sprint round tonight, when we hit 15 minutes, there's 3 seconds and it ends. So you don't get to finish the lap that you're on. So you've got to get your lap done by the 15-minute mark. But it is Dylan DeBono leading Doug Gowans. David Gallo putting it up into P3 with a 1:21.28. So, and Dylan DeBono did improved his time a 1:21.04. So he's still got about 2/10 on Doug Gowan, who has 300ths on David Gallo in third, who has 1/10 on Phil Vella.
And with 4 minutes to go, Cowie, and these top runners that are still out there, they obviously think there's more pace out there. 1:21.0 is still the time to beat. DeBono's got the field by 2/10, but we haven't seen the anyone getting in the 20s. The field spread across the top 10 is still just outside that second range.
One of the things we've seen, buddy, that I think that the optimal performance of these tyres is those first couple of laps after you've got them into range. So I'm watching quite a few of these qualifyings here for the F3s over the past few seasons, and you know, occasionally you see a bolter come in with purples at the end, but generally, you know, the work is getting done in that sort of first part. Yeah. So by the time we get outside 10 minutes, you know, generally these guys have done their best laps. And a lot of that could come down to trying to push early on in the sectors, you know, and if you lose 2 or 3 tenths in the first sector, then you just pull out of it. You know, you don't try to set it again until the next time. Sometimes we can fall into that trap of, you know, pushing a little bit too hard. And as I said, you know, once the tyres have done 4 or 5 laps, maybe they've lost that extra tenth or 2 of optimal performance.
Well, that's right. They know as drivers themselves that if their if their tyres or their car's not, or their lap time isn't up to scratch, just to pull out, waste their time really, waste lap time in the car as well. Dylan DeBono just put down a purple sector I just seen.
Yeah, I think Blakely had a sector up there as well that was looking purple as well. Nathan Burney got some green there as well, so he's got some sectors come through. Is that Kevin Wakefield? Yep, green as well. So people still sort of improving, but you know, qualifying can be its own monster sometimes, Pete, right? So, you know, you go out, you set a decent lap first up, maybe within yourself a little bit to put one on the board, and it's once you've got that one on the board, then you push. So other times, you stuff the first one up, and then you come out and you're caught in traffic, and you go off of the grass, and you don't make use of the tyres, and you're struggling. Maybe then you can pull out that lap at the end of the session. But we see it time and time again. It's hard, man. You really need to be on it from the word go and build up to it.
Yeah, well, we haven't really seen much improvement from a lot of the guys in the last couple of laps, eh? So I think we've just seen a tiny mistake there from Batouche on the exit. Got just a little bit of front. Yeah,
and a 1x there, I think, from the wall, so that would void this lap. But again, you know, you're right. Once you've set it down and then you're pushing those extra limit, and I mean, that's where it all is. You've got to, you know, send the car in with 5Ks more than you did the time before and hope it grips. But that's what these cars are designed to do. But obviously there's a cliff. It's a matter of trying to find where that is. And I think that's the thing that separates pros and pro-ams and ams, is that the width of that sort of railing on the cliff, you know, whether you're any good at grinding.
Yep, as most of these guys are pulling over. There's still a couple that are out there. We got Del Cento still on a lap. Oh, he's aggressive, hit the curb.
Dan Bartosh had some green sectors there, so he might have moved up a bit. But as we said, Moment hits 15 minutes, bang, and so DeSanto finishes in 11th there. I don't think he got to finish that lap. Alrighty, Pete. Well, there's the end of qualifying. As always, it flies. Detroit, look at the fountain there. It's an awesome shot. But here is the Shannons Formula 3 Nationals grid for round 7 here at Detroit Belle Isle. And it is Dylan DeBono for Velocity Sim Labs, who has taken out pole position tonight with a 121.039. So close to breaking the 121s. Alongside him is Michael Cuttajar, our leading privateer without the mic. Dylan's teammate Doug Gowan's Velocity Sim Labs P3, so those boys really seeming to gel with the setup this week, first and third. That's a great effort from the team. David Gallo, the leading Kittens racing driver in P4, that's a great result. Phil Vella, Downforce Racing, we think his last round for the season, so he needs as many points as he can muster, P5. And Daniel Byrne for Kittens Racing, he is our leading F1 congruent season driver, needs 127 points tonight to lock out that title. Jay Dixon for Downforce Racing P7. Greg Bradley, that's a great drive for Greg, up into P8, really showing his colours this season as well. Shane Bowen P9 for Cobalt Racing. Scott Pocock will round out the top 10 for Red Rocket. Good to see him back in the top 10. Well done, Scott. Brett Del Santo, who were following there at the end of quality, P11. Matty Gerard for Velocity Simlabs, P12. Sean Malloy and Darren Fahey share row 7. Andrew Johnson, that's a great result, P15 for the Andreg driver, Dan Partouche. He did get that lap in and put it P16 on the grid. Cullen Hodgkinson for Crisscross Racing, alongside him, Adam Simpson. They share row 9, and the row 20 will be Chris Swadling and Brad Hudson, our resident information specialist. Sends me all the great info, Brad, love it. Mark Cochran and Nathan Verney share row number, what's that, 11?
11.
No. Yep. Okay, Tyler Sheep and Danny Matisich, 23rd, 24th. And is that it? We've got anyone else on the grid? We do have Bruce White, P25, Kevin Wakefield, P26, Greg Johnson, Keegan Cowbell, Matt Tessuero, P29. He's got a bit of work to do. And our race control, is that Dean Sinkovich and Steven Sinkovich out there as well by the looks of it. And our race controllers, Greg Barber, Tyson McAvoy. Great to have them with us as always. This should be an awesome night, buddy, and I need to take a drink after that.
Big fields, yep, long fields. I was waiting for the tag in, but he just kept powering on. What a champion effort over, well, just shy of 30 drivers, I think.
Well, you read it out all last week because I couldn't read it, so I zoomed in and read the lot note. So sorry if I overstepped my bounds.
Nope.
But here come the lights, guys. It is round 7 here of the Shannons Formula 3 National Season 4. We have got a awesome sprint round tonight, 20-minute race. There'll be a 40-minute feature after this reverse top 10. But here they go, and it's a decent getaway from the front two. But I think, was that Fahey that just bogged down a little bit there at the start? It looks like he might have got swamped.
Yeah, it was a good start from the top 4. DeBono, Cuttajar, and Gallo. What a good start for DeBono, our leader. He's got legs and he's taken off, but the top 10 seem to have taken away in the middle. The mid-pack is where it's all at. We got big action there, big action contact. As safety car, look at that.
Bring out the safety car. There's like 7 or 8 cars caught up in that. Oh, take it easy, boys. Spoilers getting thrown everywhere as everyone's trying to get through. Yeah, it was Doug Gowans that bogged down a little bit on the start there, but he lost one spot. But look, sorry, did you say something before the race started, Pete? There was something about safety cars you mentioned, buddy.
I was trying.
That was a Nostradamus prediction that maybe lasted not even a minute.
Yeah, well, I was holding off putting up the banner, but that confirms. Race control, hopefully he's got the link. It should be the same room before, so hopefully we can get some messages through. But, well, I'm wrong again. It's not going to be the first time or the last time, mate, but...
You are certainly bold with your predictions, my friend. So when they will come off, they will be spectacular.
And
So
let's have a
just
look.
think that.
Let's have a look why the reason we're under safety car. It was pretty good for the first corner or so, and the leaders took off in the mid-pack. Well, stop talking about it. I'll throw it up so everyone can see. Go high in the air.
Is this like 5 wide here we're looking at? Oh, it's 3 wide. Oh, it's contact. Someone's gone up the inside. Ah, yes, it's a lock up. So I didn't see who that was, but it's a lock up on the inside, braking way too deep, cold tyres.
And then look at the crews come behind. They had nowhere to go. They're like, oh, this couldn't be that bad. Oh, maybe not. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. What's that? About 15 cars tied up in that one, Cowie.
Can we get a still of that picture there? Because I think that perfectly explains the difference between sim racing and real racing, right? Did you see the amount of runoff that there was down the left there?
I didn't know. But
in real racing, well, where that corner goes, there's another couple of 100 meters of area there that you can go down there if you go too deep, right? So in a real race, guys would have been going down that to get away from that incident. In a sim race, you try to go through the inside and jump through the broken spoilers.
well,
Agree with me? Let me know out there what you think of that comment. Maybe I'm getting myself into trouble, but yeah, it's sort of one of those things, I suppose. When you get involved in an incident, the first thing you want to do is try and get out of it or get going again. And if you see an incident up ahead, sometimes it's a 50-50 call to go left or go right, and you've got to own your decision.
yeah, you got to own your decision, all right. And the decision that a decision that De Bono made to get off the line pretty cleanly was a good one. And we'll jump on board with him right here. I said on board, didn't I? He's still in De Bono.
Launch. Yeah, he got a great launch. And Michael got a decent launch as well. So the front two got away, but I think it was Doug Gowans that just fell back a little bit. But you can see, and who's that? Phil Vella, also pretty cautious around that corner, and you can see. I think that was it was Byrne and Dixon were closing up, but it was behind him. Look at this.
Well, let's actually play at full speed.
That's locked. Yeah, but that's what's happened. Whoever that car up on the inside is locked up. And I'm sure we'll probably find out very soon when a penalty gets called.
De Bono, Cutterjug, Gallo, Gowans, Vella got through there clean.
The big loose in the pits we've seen is that Vernie Cochran, Sheep, Malloy, Fahey, Hodgkinson, Del Santos, Simpson. All of them have pitted. Looks like Dean Sinkovich did not make the grid. I don't think. And there's a few broken cars there. But I did see like there was at least 7 or 8 of them caught up in it.
Yeah, that was being generous. I think there was probably upwards of 10. Whether a lot of them just pulled up just in time, but yeah, it was a good handful, wasn't there? That not a great start to the race, because now it's just an uphill battle. This track is hard enough as it is. Let alone.
That's probably why we see so much action on the first lap at a track like this, because you know it's hard to pass. So you know any positions you can get early on, it's going to be a bonus. Alright, race control did advise safety car is going to pull away from the field, I think, soon. And yep, about to pull away now, and we'll hand control back to Dylan De Bono to lead the field away. It'll be interesting to see. I think we've seen a perchance, a reasoning behind some of the starts of these guys here. And the rule generally is, unless it's a big long straight where you're going to get swamped, if that's the case, you run it right to the line. Otherwise, you go and set up your final corner, so you just make sure you're going and getting the best run you can get. And that's going to make it hard for the car behind to get an even better one than
And when do you go if you do the De Bono?
Yeah, so he didn't. I half expected him to go there. So, was it this one here? Sorry. Maybe he can't go yet if they haven't called it out. Right, so yeah, safety car's in pit lane, so he can only just go now. So I would not be surprised to see him go out of this final corner here, because he can just, you know, get it, make sure he maximises the good run. No, okay, holding it right to the line.
And we're green again.
There you go.
A bit of movement in that mid-pack as well, again.
That was Phil Belle having a look up the inside of Doug Gowan's there, but I think Doug closed the door pretty quickly there. He's got a run. Bit of action at the back there as well. What's that? Car 69, obviously that was Phil Bella. Right hot on the tail of Doug Gowans, being a pest in the mirror.
Yeah, it was a good restart, wasn't it, from, well, the whole field, De Bono, Cutajar, Gallo, Gowans, and Bella top 5. Heard a bit of a scrape on the wall.
A little bit. Yeah, just lit up the rears a little bit in the car slid. That's giving Daniel Burbine him a bit of a chance to have a run. And that's how quick it can change where you're the aggressor to maybe pushing a little bit too hard and then suddenly you're going to defend the guy behind you. So that, I suppose it's risk versus reward early on here. You're still trying to get those tyres up the temp.
Yeah.
See, that's at the lead. Sort of 7 or 8 cars have already jumped a little bit of a gap. So I think maybe that restart caught a few of them in the middle of the field napping. As we see, yeah, look at that. Oh, there's a broken wing back there. Have a look at that group behind here.
Oh, no, Bella's around.
Bella's got around, he survived.
Good driving from the rest of them. I just changed cameras to go have a look at that wing. And
Bowen's crashed. Swaddling Malloy sheep. Something big has gone on back there, buddy.
yeah, we'll have to try and...
Yeah, that's what I saw before. I saw a car missing a wing. I think it might have been Sheepy.
I think we may be under safety car, possibly again. No.
That's green flag. I can't see anything coming up at the moment from race control. All drivers stand by, so we may well hear it.
Is that the one Steven Sinkovic involved also?
Yeah, well, there was a few names that flashed up there, buddy. It was happening rather quick.
Let's have a look here.
Like
Might be a bit
Callum.
premature.
Alright, so here we go. So is that one of the Red Bull racers? So it's Sinkovic. Oh, who's at the wall? And he's lost it trying to avoid. Look, that is unfortunate.
Oh, that was... I want to find... I'm going to go back live. I want to find who that was into the wall because I heard the impact. I heard the impact, Cowie, and I was like, oh, that sounded like it hurt.
It might have been Shane Bowen. Oh no, Sinkovic. No, it was Kevin Wakefield. I think you'll find, buddy.
Let's go. Let's have a look.
So he's just got him way too hot and crunched. And then if you have a look at Steven Sinkovic, he's tried to avoid and just lost the rear trying to avoid that incident. And that's what's created the bottleneck. The next car's come through, connected, and then suddenly it's a blockage. But looks like we are still under green flag conditions here at SRW TV. We are inside. Is that the final? We're inside the first 10 minutes?
Yeah, so 10:41, 10:45 played, you might as well say, and just inside now to go.
Right. Gallo is... He's held on to P3, that's right, he was ahead of Gowans. So, where did Phil Bella come out after his spin?
Phil Bella back in 10
now. 10, so that was rather costly. But you can see that's, you know, the commitment to be at the front and then mix some bumpy track in. And, you know, yeah, just push that little bit too hard and even the best can lose it sometimes, buddy.
Oh, yeah, just around. Oh, good driving from the rest of them. Yeah, well.
And he's well to hold his spot there. Could have easily kept going and flicked around into the passage of some of those drivers. So it was clever driving. All right.
DeBono, Cutterjut, Gallo, that's been your 3 all night so far, hadn't it? Gowans, he's been up there. Burn, I tell you, they're iRacing, tricking me with all these little scuffs against the wall. But top 4 are starting to gap it.
Maybe we're just going to keep an... I don't think even SDK tells us when they get a 1X. I think Race Control's got a little tool for that, so they pick up every single one. Sometimes, yeah, the visuals maybe tell us there's a scrape when there isn't, but I think we're just going to treat it as a scrape, buddy, because it's more exciting than scrapes.
Up 11 positions for Brad Hudson as well. We've got him on screen, so good gains for him. He's got Pocock in front of him. He's in the draft as well, and he's having a pretty consistent race.
Ahead of Pocock is Greg Bradley, who's the leading AM driver, Pro AM driver at the moment. Danny Matisich, the leading AM driver, running P11 at the moment. So that mid-pack that got caught up in that lap 1 incident, buddy, that looks like that was a good chunk of our Pro AM guys that got caught out there, because we're seeing a few AM drivers filling those sort of positions, you know, just outside the top 10.
Yeah, I'm starting to walk down a little bit, try and find a few drivers down there. Gerard's coming in, he's had a bit of an incident. Oh, big incident by the look of it. Cowie?
He's just collected the wall, lost a rear wing there, has he?
Yeah, he's going backwards. That may cause a safety car here. I'll go back, have a look. I just picked that up. He's probably lost the rear, as similar to Vela. Oh, he's clipped the inside curb.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh, wow.
It was Kevin Wakefield that locked up on the inside, that big T1 incident. Oh no, he's come out into the path. That is going to be even worse for Gerard there, I think, because he's come right into the path. Oh, Race Control might have something to say about that. It was unlucky to Callan there, Jake. I did notice your message a bit earlier, buddy. Apologies for not replying back straight away, but look, it's one of the things we did say the concrete jungle was going to bring it all out. Race Control, well, they could have probably called a safety car out, but maybe everyone got going on that second one, Pete.
Yeah, I think that was the case. Everyone got going, and well, if we're going like this, and the field is pretty spread out, which I'm pretty surprised to see here tonight. A couple of wounded cars, though. Their job's a little bit harder, but I think because everyone got going, that, you know, maybe that's their decision.
I think a middle chunk of the field got called out by that restart. They weren't quite as close, and that gave the sort of the top 10 a bunch. And then I think maybe because a couple of them got called out, that's what created sort of that big clump of drivers all together. And as you said, mate, as we know, buddy, you know, the problem with a place like this, if someone has a mistake a corner or two ahead of you, you don't know that there's a car across the track until you come around there and you're committed already. And we saw what happened to Stephen when he tried to get out of it to avoid contact, and he lost the rear of the car. That's how close you are to the edge of grip with these things.
Yeah, and they're also hard to bring them back, isn't it, once you do? Oh, yeah, they are clipping right. That. They are. That was Dixon clipping the rear of them cars out. I wonder, the rear of the car on the wall, I wonder how many times you can do that before you start to feel it. But, yeah, surprising how rough these guys have been with these cars. They're so gentle. Is something happening in the back of the field, I think.
That was an interesting rejoin there too, that coming out of the pits, I think the car on track has to make sure there's room for the car rejoining. Obviously the car rejoining is obliged not to join right on the racing line, but the problem is the racing line throws you right out the wall, so it's interesting. A bit of congestion here. Is that Johnson, Cochrane, Simpson ahead of them? This is the AM battle. This is for P3, and the AM's on track at the moment. And it's that Cochrane going up the inside of Greg Johnson. Greg going to try and fight it back if he can, but it looks like Cochrane's done enough to consolidate that spot. Greg's closed it right in, so you get that Constantine effect through the slow and fast corners. come down to the exit here. A little bit sideways there for Cochrane. Can Johnson get a good exit? It's decent. It's not a huge long straight here, buddy, so I don't know if they're going to get the maximum effect out of this toe. And he's gone right into the rear. And that is terrible for both drivers. That will plummet them down the order, and that may well see Greg either getting a penalty this race or starting the next race from the pit lane.
That was unlucky to see. It was a good battle that was unfolding. Greggy wanted to put the pressure back on him.
Belle on the back of Hudson here too, so he's looking for a move up the inside. No, thinks better of it.
Thought he was going to have another dive there as well, but...
Well, you've got to think of it the way an amateur maybe, or an average sim racer like myself thinks about it, buddy. I get lots of practice at the first half of this lap. Right, and you bin it, then you start again, and you've got to do it, so you get lots of practice at the start. The problem is you don't get a lot of practice of how to take T1 and T2, that big left hand over the bump fast.
Here we go, Bella down the inside of Hudson.
Yeah, nice move. Nice move.
Quite easily done too. Quite easily done.
I don't think Brad fought that one too hard either. And again, I mean, the other thing is too, these tyres have already done 14, 15 minutes, so they're not fresh anymore. That's not to say that they're horrible, but they're certainly not fresh anymore. That was Sigovic letting driver 3 is going to let Bella through very soon as well. We have a look. It is DeBono who's got about a second. 2 seconds. About 2 seconds over Karajar at the moment.
This is Byrne all trying to have a look.
Yeah, so Dan Bartosh was, I think, black flag for that incident. That was that rejoin we saw, I think it was, buddy. Mark Cochrane's also been given a penalty for a rejoin lap 10. So a few penalties getting handed out by race control. Unfortunately, you know, we know that the boys don't mean it, but a mistake around here can be costly, not just to yourself, but to, you know, maybe half the field on the track, depending on where you're coming at the time.
Well, especially in these cars. I'm surprised at how many nicks we're hearing on the walls, but especially if you have car-to-car contact. You seen when we had the big one, just as the race started, that there was pieces of car everywhere as Gallo slides the car, the rear of the car through there with 45 seconds to go.
Gouts put a bit of pressure on him here, so have we got another lap, or is this, or who's that crabbing down the main street? I think that's it's a white flag that Barney was waving there. So Karajar's closing in. The gap is 0.7. So he's maybe making a last minute dig to see if he can get close enough to pressurise DeBono. I'd be very surprised if Michael actually did a big send or anything. But if you can put a bit of pressure on, might be able to force a little mistake. At the moment, that's what Gowans is trying to do to Gallo, because he's closing right in. The gap between them two is now about a second as well. So closing in, Doug Gowans really eyeing off that final position on the podium. We've also got a fairly close between Byrne and Dixon by the looks of it as well, buddy. So there's sort of 3 battles going on in the top 6 at the moment.
This is the closest one out of them, 0.3 of a second. The others are out to about 0.6 and 0.7. But, who was that? That was Dixon having a bit of a crack there. Bit of contact possibly.
I don't know if there was, but it looked pretty close. But it looks like it has cost him a little bit of momentum. But it's DeBono coming around the last couple of sections here. And it will be Dylan DeBono to take out race number 1 tonight of our sprint round doubleheader. Taking it out over Michael Karajar P2. David Gallo, Kittens on the podium for race number 1. That's a great result, holding off Doug Gowans, also a great result, P4. And it was Dixon, Byrne and Dixon, so Byrne managing to hold off Jay Dixon there at the end. And P7, Bradley. So Greg Bradley, our leading Pro-Am driver inside the top 10. Scott Pocock P8, that's a good result for the Red Rocket Racer there, and it is Phil Vella and Brad Hudson P10. That will be your front all contact. Just over the line, but wow.
There was good battles across the line there. There was all the way down. I tried to keep everyone going, but who was the biggest mover? I think we're looking at a shared Coldwell and Tessiaro, 14 positions apiece. Oh, three of them, and Stephen as well.
A bunch of those AM drivers really benefiting from those two sort of crashes that happened of the mid-pack. So I think both times it was, cars around sort of 10th to 15th that had moments. So the AM guys really coming away with a good chunk of points from race number 1. But it's going to be... okay, so... Sounds like there's some reviews going on maybe from race control as well. So I suppose any grid we put up at the moment is only going to be a preliminary grid. We've got a little 10-minute period here, Pete, as we wait for the feature race to come up.
Yeah, we
Who
do.
are you given to that? Who's your driver of race number 1, do you think there, buddy?
Oh, there's quite a few of them, to be fair, mate. I can't really put my finger on one. Is the battles, the mid-pack. I think that battle between, I think, what was it, around about 12th to 15th at one stage was about 4 to 5 cars, and it lasted what seemed to be eternity. So I think more so not one driver, just the drivers that were involved in a battle pack, because the battles that were going on, and there was quite a few of them, lasted for, you might as well say, the whole race. And Karajar, I think, almost got the win, or did he get the win?
No, DeBono held on to the win there. It's going to be interesting because Phil dropped a few points on those boys this race, but the sprint round points is not worth quite as many as the feature round, right? So Phil Vella has put it on the front row for race number 2. So, but he finished P8 versus P2 and P1. So, there's a good chunk of points there. I think both Dylan and Michael will be happy that they were able to take some points out of Phil. They'll be hoping something similar happens to him in this race as well.
And did I hear correctly, we have a inverted top 10?
You did, my friend.
Oof.
You did, my friend. So that means my stats man, Brad Hudson, big shout out to him too, because he gives me lots of info on the way the race is going to pan out. I didn't talk about fuel numbers in the first race because it wasn't an issue. Race number 2, if it stays green, it's going to be close to 30 laps, but the session is set up a bit shorter. So what does the session say? 26 laps, right? So it'll be 26 laps if it goes green all the way. These guys use about 1.1 a lap, and they've got 13.7 in the tank. So you're talking 12 laps, maybe 13, before they start to need to think about a pit stop. So we may be looking at a 2-stopper for tonight, depending on the all pesky safety car that comes out and spoils the drivers that are up front leading the race, but exciting it all up for us when they bunch everyone up together again, buddy.
It does. Well, we've seen in that first little sprint round, didn't we? It didn't need the safety car to spice it up. I think that would have stayed close together regardless of the race scenario. But 2 stops. Just let's hope the drivers have to play out their strategy first. I don't like seeing early safety cars. It just, for one, I like to get the momentum going. As Steve's having drama with that corner. I think that's twice I've seen him hit there. But
if they get 26 laps in, right, then they would need to do a save to do it as a 1-stopper. So it may well end up being one of those races that if the safety car comes out, that's it turns it into a 1-stopper regardless, right? But if the safety car doesn't come out and stays green, it could be you need to maybe find a lap somewhere. I love when fuel comes a part of things, mate, and those strategy calls come into play. I know last night I made a fuel call instead of a tyre call, and I had a little bit of damage. I should have come in with a bit earlier, but I was worried about my fuel, putting too much in for the next fill. But
Yeah.
when those situations come into it, that's when it just adds another nuance to motor racing.
Yeah, make them use their head, and also remember that they've got to get round, don't they, for the for their cool down, or they'll get a rear of grid.
Yeah,
So,
I might have ended up with one of them for the super sprint round at Sandown. You think of a worse time to have a rear of grid at Sandown?
yeah, well, and well, these guys are having a bit of fun in warm up. And not many drivers are choosing to get out there, so I'll just throw the results up on screen so they can to go through it, the viewers, that is, Cowie. But sort of based on, only a few drivers going out in the warm-up, what sort of driver are you when it comes to this 10-minute warm-up? Do you like to put your feet up and refresh your beverage, or are you one to get out there and keep the body warm?
It depends. Like if I've made a mistake with my setup, then maybe I'd jump on and do a couple of laps just to try a change and see what that did. Otherwise, I generally get up off the rig and stretch your legs, grab a drink, that sort of thing. Now, Keegan was asking what was the finished AM positions. I think if we're looking at it here, you would have taken out the lead. You Keegan, I think Matt Tessiero came second, and Mark Cochran finished. No, that's not right.
No, because De Bono, that's supposed to be AM results there.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, so no, but no, it'd be different because the Pro AM is in there, and you've only got Pro and AM at the moment, buddy.
Yeah.
So bring up the ladder, the results for the whole grid without any dividers. Now, if I look at it there, I think Brad and Adam are Pro AM. Danny Madison is an AM, so I think Danny maybe took out the AM in race number 1. I did mention his name a bit earlier. So Danny Matisic, I think, is our leading AM driver in P12. Keegan, you were P14. Matt Tessiero was P15, and Greg Johnson P16. So Greg may have a little bit of a penalty coming his way. We'll see what race control's got to say. But yeah, I think that it was Danny Matisic that took it out, buddy. So, as far as the championship goes, well, there's a little. Matt didn't do too bad, but I know that Eagle Boys have been eaten into in his points, so it's closing right up. And a big hey from Jason Douglas as well, buddy. Hey, buddy. Good race from Jace last night. Have you had much chance to get on the sim yourself, Pete? Or is it just watching the racing and commentating it, buddy?
Well, it's packed up. Got to do that fun thing moving, as we've seen. I think Spinovich just
do one on cue.
Yep, done one on cue, and I think I just got given that name. Oh, everyone. Hopefully they're getting that out of their system for the race, but no, it's pushed to the side at the minute. I haven't been on the sim for quite a few weeks. Yes.
I know you were getting in doing the 86s there, buddy, and having a bit of fun.
Until I wasn't. Crashed early on in most races, and just no time to practice.
You got to be in it to bin it, mate.
This is true.
You can't bin it if you're not in it. So. No, it's a great pastime. I spend altogether too much time on the sim, and my weekends are shot when everyone else is on. I'm off gigging, so I've got to do it all this through the week. Daniel Byrne, it was a good result for him in race number 1. Certainly doing his bit to put those points up to clinch the F1 championship that's been running all year. Yeah, I think you did get P2, Keegan, for your podium there. But it is a sprint round, buddy, so it really only counts in the feature, so don't get too excited. No.
Just shut him down. Took you,
No.
you took his
No,
position off him straight away.
No, I didn't, mate. But I've had that myself. You know, I think a win definitely counts, even if you do it in a sprint round. So, no, well done, buddy. And yeah, good position up the grid. 2 P14s inside the top 15 as well, buddy. So that's pretty cool. I know you benefited with some. Carnage ahead of you, but anytime you can get inside the top 20 as an AM driver in this field, you're going to claim that. All right, buddy. Well, we managed to, you know, talk away 10 minutes there fairly quickly.
You done well, Cowie. I left you hanging there for most of it. You done awesome, and well, I think I'll bear the load then, and I'll read out the grid.
Take it away.
What's the saying? Teamwork makes dream work, or something like that. Brad Hudson on that bombshell. He's got pole position, reverse top 10 for this one. Phil Vella will start alongside him. Pocock and Bradley will have row number 2. Jay Dixon and Daniel Byrne will start alongside each other for row number 3. Dougie Gowans and Dave Gallo. And Cuttajar and De Bono, remember, reverse top 10, so they were first, second last race. Now they'll start 9th and 10th. It's always good to watch them type of drivers move through. 11th and 12th, Adam Simpson and Denny Matesic, Cowie. So that row of drivers, they'll look to push through as
Danny
well.
Will be happy. Danny will be happy to hear that someone else can butcher his name too. So it's Matisic. There you go.
Sorry, bro. Nathan Verney and Caldwell will start alongside each other. Tessiero and Johnston, the 8th row. Bowen and Tyler Sheaf. He had a pretty good race. He'll start alongside Bowen, as I just said. Steven Sinkovic and Bartouche will start alongside each other. Bartouche a little bit further down, what I would have expected. Wakefield and Swadling.
Caught up.
Yeah,
He got
Cochrane
caught
and
up in that
Malloy.
mess and-
It was hard not to get caught up in it, as the rest of the field's there. Tyson McAvoy and Greg Barber, as always, do an awesome job in race control. We always say it's a loveless job, Cowie, but they do it and do it well.
That's it, buddy. I mean, you know, if you're going to whinge and bitch about something, you're first going to do that to race control. Maybe then yourself and your teammates, but yeah, look, it is one of those things. It's quite thankless, and I mean, there have many times where I thought I'd been in the clear, and then you have a look at it, and you're in the wrong. You know, you think someone else has done something wrong, and you've done it yourself. So, you know, in the heat of the moment, it can be very hard to be aware of what's happened and what you've done. And that's what race control are there for, to take that sort of greyness out of it, I suppose, and take it out of your hands.
And I can tell you, just on that note, Cowie, that every time that I look back on the replay after doing my Nana on the over the radio, I look back and go, oh, probably should have shut me trap and let race control deal with it. But
I think every sim racer has done that at least one point of their career. But these guys getting ready here, buddies. So this is our feature race, 40-minute race. So 26 laps. These guys can maybe stretch at tank 13. So that's going to be quite interesting to see how that works out. But this is our feature race, reverse top 10. As we said, the lights are coming on. It's Hudson and Belle to lead the field away. And here we are, our feature race here at Belle. Good start by the looks of it. I think that was Dixon, got a great little jump, so look for him to get a spot or two at the start here. Or they're going wide, giving each other plenty of room by the looks of it at the moment. Bradley, Dixon's got past Byrne by the looks of it there.
yeah, we go 3 wide. That's Bradley, Byrne, Gallo, De Bono, all in a fierce battle. Gowan, Simpson fighting back. There's contact. They get through though. I think there may have been a stopped car there, but those cars must have. I think they got through. Dylan De Bono Up to
Up,
P7
yep.
already. Oh, it's
another
fierce contact.
Someone's lost a wing. Who's lost a wing?
Not too
That
sure.
is that Gallo? No, it's Daniel Byrne, driver 808, has lost his rear wing. Adam Simpson, I think, has got damage there as well, because he was, you know, staying outside the line there. Oh, it's going to be very difficult to drive that car without a rear wing. But it is Phil Bella that's got to the front, past Adam Hudson, and already he's got that gap out to about 0.7. But Pocock, he's done well. So Pocock, Bradley, Dixon have all held on to their positions at the moment.
Oh, look at that fierce
Debona
back.
up to 4. Oh.
Yeah, he's doing a good job up into 6th position. Look at the battle behind him. Gowans is pushing on with Gallo and Simpson behind him.
Yep, that was Byrne coming into the pits there, so realising he doesn't have a rear wing, and that's going to make it hard for him to clinch that championship, F1 championship tonight. Though it's not over yet, and I've still got one more safety car up my sleeve. So, unlike a certain commentator I know. Oh, is that loose car there in front of Adam Simpson? No, they all got through. I saw a little bounce and wobble there. I think that was from Greg Bradley's machine. I know it would have been Gallons. Okay. Keegan Corbell up into P11, so P14 last race, and already he's up a few spots, having a good start here. They're going slow, so that's a safety car. Yep, safety car has been called. So, all right, second safety car up.
Yeah, I wonder what the, I think Majestic, there we go again, was involved in something because he's jumped to pit, so that would have been with race control's permission, having, few people, we've missed something here. Majestic, yeah, Tyler Sheaf, yeah, that's him. Well, let's have a look at this, we'll watch it live, and if we need be, unpack it and slow it down, but missed that, but let's go. He's off the start here. He's
just locked up. Oh, wiggle out, yeah, that's what we saw. And perhaps he was trying to get to the inside to, you know, avoid stuffing people up, but there was a car already there. So, there's some more damage there. He's just lit it up, he's just lit the rears and the car's spun around on him, I think. So I don't think it was anything, you know, there's nothing malicious in it. Just a mistake, but it's brought out the safety car just to settle things down. Caleb, Velocity is going to take this one home. Okay, well, at the moment, it is Downforce Racing that have jumped to the front.
This is an incident comes through with Sheafy. Oh, just lights up the wheels. What about the cars around him? Oh, he moves his car. Good bit of driving there from Sheafy to get his car off.
That was a little tank slapper there. So he went to turn in and then flicked back in the other direction. The whole rear just went off.
And also, what looks like these were all separate incidents. Bartouche was involved in one as well. While we're on the safety car, most will have a look. All similar to and he's got his he's got clipped by a driver. I wonder if he's lucky to not have any front wing. Whoever come back past and clipped him.
The safety car will give them a chance to come in and use that fast repair and fix the code. Is there a way we can see the name of the car come up? The boys asking when we look at the replay. I don't know if that's something we can look at, Pete. Like, I'm familiar with most of the cars now, but even still, there's a few new names out there. I'm still trying to get used to what their liveries look like.
Yeah, I think you probably could, but because there's a function there, a button where you can press when you're in a replay session to show overlays, or if you're in a live session. So obviously I'm in a live session, so I've clicked live session. I could probably click it over, but it's probably, I don't know, we could probably do it a couple of times and work on it, but it'll be a little bit clicky, I think. But
yeah, they're just looking to see, like, you know, when you're focused on a car, to see what the name of the car is. You know, who's the car and the driver. And, you know, I don't know if that would show during the replay.
Yeah, this is just Tyler Sheep's.
Yeah, so that's just that little bit of a tank slapper there. The weight of the car sort of flicked back on him when he tried to correct it.
Well, we can work on that, I think, in the suggestions column.
Certainly. But, I mean, the pictures are looking pretty spectacular. That's looking clear as. We certainly haven't seen any glitching or anything out there. Let us know what you think, guys, but it's looking pretty spectacular out there, Pete. And,
Yeah, pulling my hair out.
pulling your hair out. Nah, it's looking good, buddy. And, I mean, so far, the Shannons Formula 3 Nationals, action-packed Wednesday nights, well, I think it's been living up to its reputation here. And, we're seeing action aplenty. Phil Vella jumps to the front there early on in the race. He puts himself in the box seat week after week. And, he's a hard man to beat from this position. Brad Hudson, the newsman of the F3 world, or the SRW F3 world, our resident super sleuth, running P2 at the moment, and he'd be pretty chuffed with himself. And, one of the things about these Pro-Am, and even some of the AM guys as well, they may not have the out-and-out speed, but they know how to make a car wide. So, you still got to take your care getting around them. They're not going to make it easy for you.
And, defense is probably more important sometimes than attack, especially in the later stages of the race when everything's fatiguing.
And, when you've got concrete walls on both sides of you, you can start to sort of close those lines up and really make your opponent, he's got to have a red hot go to even think about it, so.
It's a fair gap between these top three.
Yeah, that's what they're just like, that was race control on the line. They're just advising the other drivers to be careful.
What speed we sitting on? That's Vella 92.
They haven't even caught the safety car yet.
Nah, I'm pretty sure safety car's pulled away.
Oh, yeah, it has. That's what. Yep. So we're about to go green. Okay, so we'll see when Vella goes. I think the safety car's not. Oh, he's gone straight away. I was going to say the safety car's not getting back until they've come around that last real corner. I'm not talking about the fake corner that you're taking flat out. But already the field is spread out a fair bit there. So whether there's a bit of concertina under the safety car, but there's big gaps already that should really be there.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a weird start. We might have to go unpack that start, Cowie, once we get going again.
I think some of the guys down the back got caught napping a little bit, weren't closing it right up, and you can see there's like 2 or 3 clumps. And that usually is the case when someone's missed the start. Oh, no, Adam Simpson around.
Yep, I'm trying to grab him.
He survived there. Doesn't look like there's damage on that car. Caldwell, Bowen battling hard here. Bowen's gone up the inside. He's going to have the inside run here. If he can keep the car there, he'll own it. And is that going to be White making a bit of a sniff behind there? I think it was, but he couldn't get that done. Who's that slow on the inside?
That's DeBono.
DeBono, what have we called there? Something's happened here. He's lost half a car there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm trying to unpack it and have a look, mate. But wow, it's a handful for the rest of the field to get through him too. So he gets through too.
I want to well avoid contact. Oh, moment there. Another game, more carnage. Because one car's lost, everyone's coming flying around a blind corner, and suddenly you've got to hit the brakes and look at it.
Oh no! The track is jammed.
Dan Partosh caught up in that. Who else have we got caught up in that? Cullen Hodgkinson.
Yeah, wow. That, again, it was a different part of the track, Cowie, but it's same result. Massive carnage. This is his first look. We could bet you know what, it's going to go safety car here. Well, this is what happened to DeBono. It looks like he was already slow, so something happened before that.
Yeah, that's before that. So you got to go back. he's killed the car before that.
And nothing come up? So that's weird.
Yeah. So you'd have to rewind it back from that other instance, I think, to see what he did. But there's a safety car out, is there? Yeah. No?
Oh,
Oh.
I think it is. That car
Yeah.
is wrecked.
Oh.
I'm trying to have a look at that because we've missed something big. Lots of things, I think. That's Tessiaro.
IRacing trials trying to get to the bottom of what happened there too.
No, so that was a different incident.
It is safety car. Is out. But yeah, this is well back, so yeah, you're gonna have to go back a bit to see what happened there, buddy. Stinkovich and Cochrane's crash might be
Oh,
1311
God.
in. 131163 in. That might be the one to have a look at.
This one. Well, I'm going to do this one.
Right? Yeah.
I'm going to do this one.
Leave it in your hands, my friend.
As it doesn't want to do it.
Of course it doesn't.
So we're already there. So that
around
was
the corner. Yeah.
It was fantastic. So it was this. It was Cal, I think.
Alright, so having a look at Hodgkin's.
Oh, so someone's in front again. So it's back there even further.
Yeah, look, but again, no, that's that red and white car. Don't know who that was that was held there.
All right, I'm getting somewhere now.
Bonus already died here at this stage. We saw that live, so I think he's kept that out of the way. I think we'll keep it out of the way there through that.
Well,
there was a red and white car that lost it, so I don't know if that was Keegan or one of those guys that wouldn't have been Dan, but one of the might have been Chris Swadling too. He was craving. He had a darker car, so but one of those that red and white cars had lost it there. And again, it's a blind corner. You're flying around there. You come around the corner, and there's a car right on the line you need to go. Yeah, this is the recipe for disaster. Who's him? Ah, yeah, so that's it. So who was that? Is that White? No? No.
I think that was Cowlin beside him, and then it's just a similar thing. What's happened to the last couple of crashes we've had? Just cars coming around the corner and nowhere to go.
Yeah, and you're carrying a lot of speed around that corner too, so it is sort of one of those spots that someone goes into the wall there, you're in trouble.
Safety car number 3.
Yep, so we're both wrong again tonight.
I don't know why we're definitely not surprised.
Look, it's a concrete jungle, buddy, so, it was going to be one of those things that happens. But yeah, unfortunately, we see what happens there. The problem is one person gets it wrong and then just creates a massive traffic jam that the guys behind can't do anything about, because you just blind corners, you come around and there's an accident. And I think, especially in an F3 where if you don't take the corner with that level of commitment, you don't have the downforce and you slide off.
What's that do in forms of their strategy as well? Two-stopper, I think we predicted. Now that we've had 2 safety cars, although they've been really early.
Yeah, look, we see none of the front runners. Oh, yes. The front runners have pitted by the looks of it, or some of them.
Let's have a look here.
I think if we have a look, because
No one
I mean,
stopped.
I had to
Daniel Burns stopped. Hudson stopped. De Bono stopped. They're all involved in accidents. Wakefield stopped. Cochrane stopped. Hodgkinson, Batouche, Tessiaro. So, yeah, the only drivers to stop by the look of that, the drivers
That's
to be caught up.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe, you know, they still wouldn't be able to get to the end of the race from here. Yeah, at the moment, 26, I don't know if we're going to go 26 laps. We're, what, 13 minutes in already? Oh, lap 8, yeah. So, I mean, I think what this has done is it's turned it into a one-stopper now. But the guys that have pitted already, they may still need to pit again.
Yeah.
So that will be interesting to see if they get 25 minutes out of the stint, you know? Because that's effectively what they need to do to get 25 minutes out of the stint.
Also, what they'll be, the guys that had to pit, you would have to say it was because of damage. And that now that they've used their fast repairs, we're close up to, and close quarters racing again. They don't have another one.
Well, Brad Hudson went in, and I don't know if he got caught up in any damage, so he may have done a tactical one. Right? So, I mean, there's a couple of guys that may have made a tactical call there. Oh,
He's busy now.
I think that might have been race control just saying I don't think they're doing any wave rounds. I'm not sure. Just waiting to set it up. Because there are a few cars that are a lap down now. Michael Carter, he's showing as well down. So we didn't see what happened to him either, did we?
No.
So I'm wondering, you know, because we only saw the aftermath of what happened to Dylan. But the fact that Michael Cuttajar's pitted and he's a lap down, so did he get caught up in something there as well, buddy?
Quite possibly.
Yeah, I'm scrolling up, I can't see anything.
He was there passing Cal when Cal was involved, so good chance he may have got a bit of a tap there. So I've got the replay there locked and loaded, ready to go. We'll get this restart underway. We're just about to tap into the second half of this race as well, although we've spent a good chunk under safety car, Cowie. But the show's just about to go on, and looks like the safety car's peeled away, and Vella.
Sort of maybe opening up that window. So Daniel Byrne is the leading car at the moment that's pitted, right? So if he can stay close enough and he can make it home, then it's certainly a possibility that, you know, with 21, 22 minutes to go, you might go close to actually making that work.
Again,
so this could add a nice little level of complexity, buddy.
Yeah, it does, but have a look what's happened again. Vela, Pocock, 1 and 2. Remember, they have control. They can go, I'm pretty sure, whenever they want. There we go. They've gone now, have they?
Well, they're supposed to hold 80 kph, something similar, so I don't know. You know, race control will have to look at any irregularities that they find in the restart, but, I mean, the problem is it's just that concertina effect when you're going around corners and stuff. You can see here that there's still half the field that seem to be missing off the back of this trade.
Oh, there he is. So he's gone now. I thought he went earlier, but he didn't. What a good jump from him, but there's 2 or 3 cars behind him. They've gone with him this time, and look at that, it's probably going to be a 4-car train.
Yeah, Pocock, Bradley and Dixon going. Well, Dixon probably would have got a call from his teammate to tell him when he was going. Doug Gowans and Gallo, they continue their battle. Looks like Doug has got past him at some point here. These guys battled really hardly in the first race. And Doug chasing David down, but not quite doing enough to get him on that last lap. Bowen and Bruce White up into P9 at the moment, so he's having a good recovery. I think Bruce elected not either had a rear grid or elected not to qualify tonight, so started right from the back and has been making steady progress as the race progressed.
And it's not safety car, Pete. Back up the front though. Phil Vella, Greg has got a bit of a gap on Greg Bradley.
And Michael Carterjar's night has gone from bad to worse. He has been given a black flag for passing under the safety car. So that's ended his big chunk of points from tonight. So that might bring a smile to Bella, considering that Dylan DeBono having his moment, he's back in 41. So remember, Bella needs to lock in as many points as he can, because he's likely going to be late for the last 2 rounds. So, you know, what's happening to his 2 main championship rivals at the moment, that's playing right into his hands.
Yeah, where is Michael Carterjar? There he is here. He's got the track to himself. Way back there in 26th. And he's got a drive-through. So, and DeBono, the other driver who is in contentions with, is all the way back here as well. So you need an element of luck and skill to get through this race. And it's been action-packed as we...
The difference is mate, Dylan DeBono is still on the track, whereas Carterjar is not. Right, but it is the pro of Phil Vella out front. He's got Greg Bradley, our leading Pro-Am driver at the moment, in P2 overall. Greg having a cracker of a race. But as I said, there's a few guys there. I reckon Brad Hudson, that was a tactical pick. So let's go Bruce from Jace out there, egging on his teammate. Yeah, Bruce is having a great race at the moment. But I'm really interested in those guys that pitted and how that's going to play out. I think I've got a sneaky suspicion that you know, those boys have got enough to get home and could be in a box seat.
Yeah, it would be interesting. Lots of lifting and coasting, possibly to get home or working as a team if that's the case. But these guys, they show us time and time again that
look like he's lifting. It doesn't look like he lift the coast there, man.
No, it doesn't. But maybe later on, I'm not too sure. But the mid pack is where it's at. That's where we're concentrating at the moment. There's not much in it between 8th and 14th. Cowie, get your name.
Battles is that. Thanks, man. on board with Sean Malloy at the moment, who's chasing down Bruce White. So Sean in P10, the Pro-Am of Bruce White and Nathan Burney. Haven't had much chat of Nathan of late. He has been in the doldrums a bit when it comes to qualifying, but P8 in this feature race at the moment. And we do know one thing about Nathan is once you get him in a position on track where he can defend, he is very good at it.
Well, if you have a look now, he's putting that on display right now. He's making that Formula 3 pretty wide, albeit there's still a couple of tenths in it.
This battle's not going to last for very long, buddy, because I think Bruce White has been given a black flag for nose to rear contact with car 399 on lap 5. So Bruce right in the hunt there, and unfortunately Jason looks like he might have to serve a drive-through. Daniel Byrne, look, he's pitted lap 2, so that's pretty early, so maybe he can't make it home. Remember, had to get his car fixed, but the safety car has given him a chance to get back in the hunt. Bradley Hudson, that's an interesting one, buddy, because I think he might have done enough to be close to getting home.
Let's have a look, Let's have a look on the strategies of stint lengths. We'll get that up. So, we'll look at that. So the top 9 is all the same, and we'd probably have to extend it out to have a look.
Yeah, they haven't did it yet, so that's why they're sort of showing the same. The issue is going to be is Hudson inside that window. Oh, Steven Sinkovich has been given a penalty as well.
Oh, side by side here, Hudson.
Oh,
and
nice.
Johnston. That was Andrew Johnston.
Class, buddy. Is it Greg or it's
Andrew, it's coming up for me.
Andrew, it's Andrew. You were correct. I apologise, buddy. Yeah, but this is a battle for class. Both of these guys pro-am, so battling hard here at the moment.
Oh, it looks like Johnston's got that position. Dunn slides the rear, close to the wall. Hudson and Adam Simpson behind. Adam Simpson we haven't really spoke about here tonight, but good little battle going on for the minors.
Well, this is all pro-am. This is the battle for the lead of the pro-am class.
Oh, yeah, so they're not at the minors. This is for the W.
That's it, mate. So Adam Simpson had a broken car there in that first race, but now is down a couple of spots, but has done well. Still going. Actually, I think he might have had. No, he didn't pit this one, but he's having a good fist of it at the moment, putting the pressure on Brad Hudson. But we know through here it's just so tight, but really easy to make a mistake, and that's that spot where we saw the mistake before, buddy. Someone bins it there, the rest of the field.
Yeah, but the battle just up ahead of him is the one that's I'm watching through sort of Adam Simpson's view, because it looks like Simpson's putting the other foot down. He wants to progress up. Oh, it looks like Hudson wants to have a move. No, he's just showing the nose, filling the mirrors.
But one thing that we do know that happens, buddy, the moment you get a couple of cars battling, that gives the chance for anyone behind them to sort of close the doors. So Simpson is on the back here, and you can see Fahey and I think it's Hodgkinson, who's a lap down, is closing in on them, right, because they're battling.
Yeah, Cow's in between. Oh, it's not a night for him, but he'll be welcoming a bit of a battle pack. Even though it's not for position, makes the night fun. That hasn't been really a fun one for him, but
unfortunately he can't really get himself involved in it either, because that just makes it even worse. But Cowley's one of the guys, like myself, you make a mistake, that doesn't mean you quit. You know, you bring the car home, take what point you can.
Battle at the front sort of heating back up a little bit, I can see now. Bradley's within half a second now of Phil Vella.
We've said time and time again, although we've got this sort of pro and then pro-am class, the thing with these pro-am guys is that you get them on their track, the track they like, and they drive a bit at, they're just as fast as the pros. And, you know, Greg Bradley's showing us that tonight, though I must say the last few weeks he has been on the pace. He's, you know, really showing that he's on the cusp of becoming a pro, I think, as well. Adam Simpson has a 3-point lead on him for the pro-ams going into this round, and at the moment he's P2 overall, so good chunk of points coming Greg Bradley's way if he can hold on to it, buddy.
Yeah, well, he's encroaching in on that gap, although it's out to 0.8 now, so good exit for Vella. Vella's put the foot down. Oh, he's got it out to nearly a second now, so Vella's responded to that. Out over a second. Did Bruce get a black flag? I believe he did, Jace.
He served it. He's back in P20 now.
Oh, there we go. Leaders in.
But I think that's put him a lap down. But okay, the leaders have come in, so 26-minute mark. Of a 40-minute race. It's interesting.
Brad Hudson, though, look at that, stayed out.
Well, yeah, I mean, 14 minutes, they're putting on fuel. He pitted lap 7. That would have been about at least 14 to 15 minutes in. So, does he have enough, man? I certainly hope so. And if so, it's a masterful decision, because he suddenly finds himself in the lead of this motor race. And the other car that did it on lap 7 behind him, Darren Fahey, is currently P2.
Yeah, that's what I like about these sorts of races and the strategies, isn't it? They can work out, or they have to work out.
Sometimes sometimes it's worth rolling the dice on maybe one of those safety cars, especially when you're out of position. You know, again, maybe have a bit of damage or something as well. But even just rolling the dice and get yourself out of sequence, we've seen how much that can change a race. Sometimes just being on that different sequence, and the weather gods fall that way for you. Well, tonight it's been the safety car gods, but we'll keep a close eye because at the moment, Brad Hudson not showing any sign coming in the pits.
No, he's staying out. He's out to a 3-second lead now. This is the battle that I'm intrigued in. Jay Dixon all over the back of Pocock, and they are 4 in class as well, 2 pros.
Yeah, Scott had a pretty good race up inside the top 10 in the first race. He started P3 this race, so he's down a couple of spots. Just giving up one to Dixon with a nice move there under the toe.
Bono.
One things in these cars there. Bono's fighting back.
He didn't have a good start to this race, did he, De Bono? And pushing his way back to 8th.
He's pitted lap 10 though, buddy, so he might be another one of those guys that he's done his stop now, and everyone else in front of him have done theirs, so.
Showing the nose, almost contact. Hold him down on that side. He couldn't get it done around the outside. If you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. He shut the door, and Dylan De Bono's going to try again. Good defensive driving from Gallo.
Yeah, position the car exactly where you need to be, and it's one thing you can do around here, but Dylan showing his commitment that he is going to, he's basically told David Gallo there, give me a sniff, mate, I'm going to have a go.
Yeah. You leave that door open, he's taking it. This is the battle, the closest battle on the racetrack so far. Hudson, 3.6, he's out too.
That is me on the comms, buddy. Yep, I commentate the F3s here on a Wednesday night, and De Bono with a big slingshot run on Gallo. He's going to send up the inside out, break him. Looks like he's going to get that done nicely.
Beautiful.
Nice move there from Dylan, and yeah, look, I think that straight is just long enough for the toe to really come into its own and give these boys a chance to make a move. Because we know it's pretty tight everywhere else on the track, so I suppose you've really got to try and maximise the spots where you can make an attempt. That was a perfect example of one.
He made that count, didn't he?
He certainly did.
Who's that? Greggy Johnston, I think, is in a bit of a battle, or timings. Oh, yeah, he's in a little bit of a battle there, 0.5.
That's Nathan Burney ahead of him here. He is the leading AM driver at the moment, pitted on lap 15. So went a couple of laps earlier than the other guys. And who was that? No, that wasn't Hudson coming into the pits.
No, I thought it was.
One of the back. That was a back marker. So he's continuing on.
Quite a few cars, I think.
Even if Brad is right on the cusp of, maybe not getting around back to the pits and getting a rear grid, the W's on the line. I think he's going to have a go of it here.
I think he is. If he pulls it off, though, it's going to be remarkable. Hudson.
We just jump on board as he comes down the back straight here and see him lift it on. I mean, he's been smooth and careful there. But at the moment, he's got that gap out to about 5-6 seconds, so Phil Bella has got around Greg Bradley there. But I'm not hearing a lift and coast.
Looks like about
being super aggressive on it. He's been pretty smooth here with his applications, but yeah, buddy, I'm not hearing any major lift and coasts here.
Also, I can see there he needs almost 30 seconds to go through the lane. What I'm seeing there for that stop to get home, possibly from now. I think like Vella Bradley and that. So he's going to think of that. He's in.
He didn't have enough. Oh, that is so. So I wonder how close Bradley was there, 'cause we were talking it up. There is a Discord, buddy. You need to go to simracingworld.com.au, register as a driver, and through there you get links to the Discord. Sorry.
It's a battle.
Look at that, bit of traffic.
Yeah, there's a battle there too, Gallo and Pocock. They want their
Swadlin
battle
was
to
there.
continue.
Fishy battle at the moment. That's the Daniel Byrne. Adam Simpson wasn't there. Yep. And I think Simpson's got him on into the corner there. Daniel Byrne's carrying a bit of damage. Gallo and Pocock. Gallo getting a run on Pocock here. He's going to get the inside. I'm surprised that Scott didn't defend there, but Gallo's gone in deep, but he's caught it. That was a close one there, Pete. He went in really hard there.
Yeah, ultra committed. He had to get it. He had to go in committed to get it done. Oh, they've been battling for a while. Pocock just nicks the wall on exit there. That's going to be costly. Hopefully he didn't pick up any damage. Shane Bowen now is that looking behind.
Yeah, Cobalt Racing Machine here, closing in. It's P7.
De Bono in the lane.
Recovering from him, up 10 spots in this race at the moment. So having a great recovery drive. And I think we see Simpson really on the back of Gowans now. So Adam Simpson showing a bit of pace here in the latter stages of this race, buddy.
Well, he's a fish, mate. You know fish can swim, especially in the later stages of the races. He takes a dive. Get it done quite comprehensively as well. Yep,
Something interesting maybe to think about too. Sean Malloy and maybe Nathan Verney, those boys might have taken tyres as well. Based on their sort of, I think Verney actually might have got a drive-through, has picked up a speeding penalty because he's got a 45-second stop. It's normally only a 3 to 5 second stop. What happens if you speed in pit lane? You get another 40 seconds.
40 seconds, 40 seconds.
Yeah,
It's pretty easy to work that out when that happens.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate because we did say that Nathan was having a pretty good race up until that point. But Adam Simpson here, right on the charge, as the second of the Pro-Am drivers in the field at the moment. Brad Hudson has come out in P10 after his little pit stop, so we thought Brad might have been able to eke it out to get home before he at least maybe 5 minutes short fuel-wise. But Doug Gowans here, he's shown some great pace here tonight at Belle. It seems both him and his teammate Dylan De Bono have been quite fast. But, you know, De Bono has recovered to P14 now.
Oh.
But we did see him back in P20 at some point. But, yeah, Bradley having a great race. And
That was my bad.
At the moment, it's, you know, Gowans is having the lead race for the Velocity Simlab boys.
Yeah, he's having a great run tonight. That's why I keep cutting to him, mate. He's was in the battle on the racetrack, but this is the one now, the battle on the racetrack. De Bono and is that Johnston? So not in class, but they're still battling. And even behind as well, Malloy and Verney, is it? No. I learned a new trick today, and I'm not using it.
Well, Johnson got a little bit of a slide there. He's given up a bit of momentum to De Bono. And De Bono looking to try and sneak up the inside, making sure he's got the inside run for the next corner. I think Johnson's going to let him have it. Yep, he didn't try to fight that too much. In actual fact, I think he may have outbroke himself a little bit there trying to hold on. Sometimes you've just got to acknowledge that he's got the move done, because it costs you a bit more.
What have we got our top 10? Vella, Bradley, Dixon, Gallo, Pocock, Bowen, Simpson, Gowans, Byrne, Hudson. And 25 seconds to go and about 30% through the laps. You could probably say this is white flag, possibly Cowie, with the positions that they're in right now.
It's only a 35-minute race. It's a 40-minute race. How much time have we got left?
10 seconds.
10 seconds. So I didn't see Barney waving a flag, so we'll see if there's another lap or not.
Stay on board with Phil Vella anyway. What a drive for him. Got it right.
Does the 1% that you need to do, you know, it's almost back to Stackman like. Make sure you qualify near the front. If you have a bit of an incident, make sure you finish inside that top 10 so you've got the front row start for the next race. Start from the front, run away from it, do your own thing. And one thing that Phil does like to do is I would not be surprised to see him pull out the fastest lap of the race on the last one. He throws it when the car's really light.
And he's
any
crossing
sign of
the
a
line.
flag there?
Yep, he's over. He's finished. Race is done. Vella, Bradley, Dixon, Gallo with a strong push to the finish. That was a good battle to the end.
Was Simpson on Bowen just hanging on there. Gowan's Burn. Looks like Gowan's got. Wasn't no Burn was chasing down Gowans, couldn't quite get him there. Brad Hudson finishing P10. I'd love to talk to him to see how close he went, but what we're going to do is the same thing we did last time, mate. We bring in our leading AM driver, which will be Greg. Is that Greg Johnson in P17 with our AM win for tonight?
P17.
And then we would normally bring in our winning Pro-Am driver, and that is Greg Bradley. And then we bring in the podium. Well, Greg's already on the podium, so we bring in Jay Dixon and Phil Belle from Downforce Racing. So only 4 people to talk to tonight, buddy.
Excellent.
But Greg Bradley, Pro-Am, and putting it P2, we know what happened to the last guy that did that. He got a kick up to the pros.
I don't know, it's bittersweet. I think you celebrate it initially, and then you wonder what you did, and then the next week you struggle. But well, De Bono didn't, so he may. We don't want to put anything in their ears, because I don't know whether you win everything or
we've got to. I think
challenge.
we need to talk to race control. They're calling out everyone for the podium. But mind you might still want to get those cars out for the grid. It'll be interesting to see if some of them don't make it home, maybe. They were running really light on the fuel there. I think a few of them will come into the pit.
Let's have a look at these results, while they all line up, get their photos. Vella, Bradley, Dixon, they come across the line in our feature race, first, second, and third, Cowie. But it was a great night of racing. Shannons Formula 3 Nationals round 7's run and won, and well, Detroit turned it on again. That is Heat 1 results, so you know, just refreshing your memory. That's what I was doing. Phil Vella, what a dominant performance. 1.7 seconds he won by. Bradley and Dixon, that's your podium. We'll get a chat with them. But Gallo, really impressed with him tonight. Although he's quick every night, mate. He had his hands full, and he got past Pocock. And he looked to be having a crack at Gallo. What was that, 0.2 in it at the end? Shane Bowen, I think I heard you mention in your commentary quite a few times, up to 6, good performance. Adam Simpson, it was a tough race for him. Dougie Gowan's another driver that really put on a show for us tonight. He gets a top 10 finish in 8th, and Daniel Byrne, a little bit further back than what we're normally seeing. Cowie, and Brad Hudson tops off the 10.
You know, Daniel had that damage early on. Lap 2 had to pit, so he'd be pretty happy with the P9 recovery. His safety car helping him get back on that, lead lap, back in contention. But yeah, look, David Gallo, as you said, he's been the lead kit in the last, probably this season. Has had the wood on his driver 808 teammate, Daniel Byrne. But those kittens, boys, they always pull out a good showing. There's always 5 or 6 of them out here on track, and we love having them with us. Looks like Mr. Hudson having a bit of a burnout there with his P2 in class. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, but I think we might need to make sure we have a chat to race control for next week, buddy, because looks like all of the AM boys are jumping into the chat. I will have a quick chat to them now and let them know. But so if you want to take it away, who have we got? We've got, I don't think we've got Greg Johnson. Oh, we do. Do you want me to drag Greg down into the room?
Yeah, get him in, mate.
Questions with him. All right,
we'll talk to him. We'll talk to him for sure.
Well, Greg Johnson, our leading AM driver tonight, buddy. You found yourself inside. that top 15, top 10 early on in that first race, didn't you?
I did. I was up about 12th, and then I
Yeah.
ran into the back of Mark Cochrane. I outbraked myself, and I ran into the back of Mark, and I apologised to Mark for that one. And then he got a drive through as well because he came out back on the track, which was really unfortunate for him. And I felt really bad because I let him. He got past me, and then I hit the brakes at the end of the back straight and locked the backs up.
Well, mate, they're blind corners around here. Did you have your heart in your mouth a few times out there tonight?
Plenty times. I had cars diving around everywhere. I had Sinkovic go past me in the first race. All four wheels on the grass, I'm sure of it. And I told him so. But yeah, look, it's been good. It's been a great night. And just trying to stay out of trouble and avoid all the wrecks. It's the name of the game out here tonight.
Well, the talk I heard was that the setup was actually pretty good for the car in here, and it was good across the board, sort of speed wise for you to drive. So I think last week it was maybe a bit of a struggle at the Hungary. At the Hockenheim Ring, was it? Hungary.
Yeah, it was. But around here, the track vibrations, you know, my intensity for the steering intensity for the feedback level is down at 25%, and it's still hurting. And yeah, when it was up to 50%, it was so hard to drive around here in practice.
Hey Greg,
Alrighty,
it's
Pete.
Pete here, mate. I'll butt in. Did you? I can't remember who was involved. There was lots of them. Race 1. Did you keep your nose clean for the start? And how do you find these cars, mate, at this track? It looks tough. It's so bumpy.
It is. It's really bumpy. And I run a single screen, so I've got no side visibility past the mirrors. And that makes it very hard. So you've got to just, when everyone, crashes in front of you, but virtually got to come to a stop and just sort of pick your way through and hope that no one is trying to go through the gap you're going through. So yeah, it's pretty hard.
And did the safety cars make your strategy easy, or did you still have to think?
No, not really. It didn't make much difference to mine. Like originally, the first race, I was just sort of planning to just go around and see where I ended up. And, fortunately, there was 4 or 5 AMs all around positions 16 to 20 at the end of the first race. And, I'm sort of keeping an eye on others in the division. So, I'm trying to stay with them or try and get in front of them if I can. And, sort of worked for me, but not too bad. But in the second race, I just, stayed out of trouble, and everyone else around me just sort of peeled off. And, I crashed on the first lap, locked the brakes into turn 1, and so I had to take repairs. And so I took fuel at the end of that one. And every chance I got, when there was a safety car or something, I pitted and fueled and jumped in early and just thought, yep, I've got enough fuel to get to the end, and let's hope there's no safety cars. And it turned out for me, so I was pretty happy.
Well, mate, you must be pretty happy enjoying the cars, enjoying what was a pretty tricky track and event, wasn't it, Cowie? But good old Greggy, mate, you get a chat on the podium, mate, so very good night for you.
Yep, and I'd like to put a shout out to the Prostate Cancer Foundation of Australia. They've been supporting me for a couple of years. And as most people know, I had prostate cancer a couple of years back and had that taken care of. And the Prostate Cancer Foundation have jumped on board, and there's no support coming in to pay the costs, but we have the logo all over the cars, and the most important message is for guys to get checked. And of course, the other sponsor on the car would be Red Energy, and the boss is an absolute petrol head, and he loves what I do, so he likes seeing the logos going around on the cars.
Awesome, buddy. Well, congratulations on your class victory tonight, buddy, and help you catch some points on Matt and the other boys up there.
Yeah, well, it can only help. But the race for the AMs is pretty close.
Oh, well done, buddy.
Thanks,
All
boys.
right, Pete, I think you've got... Oh, there we are. You give me control back. Let's bring in our Pro-Am. Oops, I dragged him to the wrong channel. Bring in our Pro-Am winner and also P2 overall in the feature race tonight. Greg Bradley, man, you were on the pace and right in the hunt from word go, mate. Is this one of those places that you love?
Yeah, it's a great track, and I had Phil Vella in front of me. He gave me some tips before the race, and I think they worked.
Well, they certainly did, buddy, because your pace was right on, and you were battling hard with the boys. So, early on, I think in both of those races, I suppose you were fairly happy to be at the front ahead of all Carnage. But there was you still had to be right on it with those boys around because it was they were certainly taking looks at you, and you were taking looks at them.
Yeah, you certainly have to keep out of the carnage. I'm looking at the results now, and a whole bunch of people got 0 X's that are in the top 15, and outside of that, they got lots of X's.
So how was it out there? A couple of the boys mentioned that they've had to dial back their force feedback with the bumps. Is this just you just had them down? You knew every bump was, buddy, and how to use them?
I don't think the bumps were the problem through the force feedback. It was more the car in front of you going over the bumps at a different rate to you going over the bumps, and your eyes doing weird things. I feel sick.
Well, we know you were sort of close behind the tail. It was hard to make a move out there, really sort of down that front straight into T3 was your big chance. Anywhere else on the lap where you could really try and get something done?
No. Phil just had the right corners over me, and I had the wrong corners over him, I think.
Well, Pete, you got anything you want to say to Greg before we get him to let us know who's giving him all the support?
Oh, well, mate, I just watched all yous marvelled at how, well, it just didn't make it look easy, but it definitely looked a lot of fun, but I couldn't do it. You take much out of this one leading for the charge to the end of the championship?
I think I missed a couple of races early on, so I don't think my championship hopes are that good, but I'm here, I'm having fun and enjoying it.
That's the main thing.
Yep.
Well, buddy, I know you're 3 points behind Adam Simpson at the moment, so you got a few points on Adam there. I think in both the races, buddy, so you might be leading that Pro-Am champ going into next week. Does that put a target on your back?
Oh, well, maybe. I didn't know that. I'll have to have a look. We've been pretty close all season.
Oh, well, congratulations, mate. Not only P1 in the Pro-Am tonight, but P2 overall. Let us know who's giving you all the great support out there, buddy.
Well, honestly, I've got to thank Jay Dixon for the pit strategy. Without that, we wouldn't know what to do. Team Andreg, Andrew's the manager and supplies all the funding to enable us to go racing. And realistically, it's all my daughter, Piper. Thank you very much for all the luck she gives me.
Good answer. Good answer.
One more shout out, Monica. Thanks, Monica.
Even better. Good reply. Nah, well done tonight, mate. You're showing your pace. Maybe you might have to, make a real big push for that Pro-Am championship, because you might find you lose that little end tag if you keep these sort of results up, buddy.
Yes. Fingers crossed.
All right, mate. Well done tonight. Congratulations on your class victory and P2 overall. Well done in the feature.
Thanks, guys.
Alrighty, buddy. Well, we've got the Downforce Racing brothers of Phil Vella and Jay Dixon. I'm going to bring them both into the room. We'll start with Jay. P3 tonight, Jay, in the feature. But you had to work hard for that in both races, mate. You were right in the thick of things.
It's good fun, actually. I like this track, but it needs respect from other drivers. So thankfully I found myself in a reasonable pack of other races tonight, which was really good. So yeah, had a great race in both races and came home on the podium. So can't complain.
Well, I think it was Greg Bradley that was just mentioning he thought that, there was a whole bunch of guys at the front of this race that had 0 X's. You guys all kept it clean. But there was a couple of hairy moments for you there, mate. There was some close moves, both on your case and guys, trying to make moves on you as well, buddy. So it's a tight track out there, but as you said, a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was good fun. I think Dylan might have lost his wheel in a wall behind me. I don't know whether that was his own doing or whether he was helped into it, but it certainly took the pressure off me for a few laps, which was very nice. And yeah, towards the end, I lost the rear a few times, but otherwise it was just drive within your limits and keep it off the wall. Everyone's got 0x, because if you get 1x, you're losing wheels.
Fair enough. And Phil, mate, little spin in race number 1, but you did the right thing and held your spot. If you had tried to keep flicking that, you probably would have taken someone out. So big kudos there, mate. But that put you on the front row for the feature. And, so you were able to control the race once you got into the front.
Yeah, actually, Cow, before I start, I just want to say a big shout out to the boys at Fishy Motorsport. A lot of love sent for Ed's way, so hashtag racing for Eddie. It's a real privilege to be part of such a great community, and we have some ups and some downs, but I hope things go well for Ed from here. Look, I threw it around, and I was very lucky, I think, to keep it relatively straight, and you've got a finite amount of control to keep it out of the walls, and that was kind of the goal there. And then I gave it a bit of a flick spin when a gap came along, and there was a big gap, I think, between those top 10 and the rest of the field there. So I was pretty lucky there, and I think I came back to 9th there. A race with Brad, who was looking really, really good tonight. And look, it's just, sometimes that Greg Bradley pressure gets to you and you make some mistakes, and it's just what it's like sometimes. It's a challenging track.
Well, I think, again, it's sort of the level of pace from you front guys. I mean, you've all got to drive sort of within an inch of the walls to get the most pace out of here. So I suppose, you've finally shown that you're a human, Phil, so you're not an alien, buddy.
Yeah, it's just part of the simulation to lure you into thinking that, Cow.
Of course it is. But were you worried about Brad when he did that early pit? So I don't know. I think he might have had some damage. Did you think he had an outside chance of being able to get home?
Yeah, we did. we did have a bit of a discussion about it. Jay and I were just laughing about it with Brad a few minutes ago. But yeah, look, I think it was great that he tried the offset strategy. I had it in my head as well, and then he did it, and I was like, oh, should I have come in? Like, was that the moment? But I think if there'd been one more safety car, that strat would have worked out. It would have been pristine. But it just didn't come that way tonight.
You got any questions for the boys, Pete, before we get them to tell us all of their sponsors once again?
Just how tricky is tracks like this, like Long Beach, Sebring, and also these sorts of tracks? It's so damn bumpy in cars that, well, you must feel, if you're in the car, the heat off the base of the car. Is it as tricky as it looks? Because it looks hard from where we're sitting. And how do you deal with it?
This one definitely. Sebring's a different beast. It's nice and open. It's not too bad, but this one in Long Beach, it's hectic, and there's no rest at all. Like, my eyeballs will probably take a good 24 hours to kind of reset before they're good again. But I think Bill was saying in the break as well that he's basically got arm pump from trying to hang onto the steering wheel as well. So yeah, these tracks this one and Long Beach are probably the two most hectic tracks to race on the service.
But it sounds like that you're all smiling. So you're talking about pain and recovery and all that, but you're doing it with a grin on your face. So there's a reason why we choose tracks like this too.
We're happy to see this one done.
Well, boys, as always, it's a pleasure to talk to you two from Downforce Racing. Of course, it gets a bit monotonous. We're hearing your sponsors and everyone looking after you week after week, but boys, you're deserving it. Phil, you weren't supposed to be here this week. You snuck this one out, and it looks like Dylan and Michael had a bit of an upset there. Is this giving you an outside sniff? Have we got you for any more rounds, or is that it?
Look, my kind of work environment changed this week, so was lucky to make the space to be able to be here. So I think we'll see. I'm up in Queensland on Monday and Tuesday, and trying to get back down here for the Wednesday race, but we'll just see how things play out. I don't actually know what track we're at next week, so I should probably figure that out and do some practice laps at least, so that if I'm there, I'm ready.
Hey, I tell you, mate, just up in Queensland, talk of it, Cowie's got a ripper rig, mate. I'm sure you can make it.
I'll keep that in mind.
I was trying to have a look to see where we were next
We're
week.
at Circuit Gilles
Let you know.
Villeneuve next week, Montreal.
Yeah,
Oh,
great
that's right,
idea.
it is too. It's an awesome track. The Wall of Champions there. But we do have our champions for tonight. P3 to Jay Dixon, P1 for Phil Vella. Who wants to let us know about the sponsors? Whose turn is it?
All right, I'll do it. Yeah, look, thanks to our usual DFR crew and friends for making it fun to race with all week. Thanks to everyone at SRW for putting on a lovely series that brings a nice big field to race against. So without that, we wouldn't come race if there wasn't anyone else to race against. So thanks to everyone for that. Thanks to the series sponsors, Shannons in particular for being the titles or series sponsor, just thanks to everyone really for turning up and making it what it is.
Is there someone you might be forgetting, Joe?
Thank you, Phil.
And thank you, Monica, for making the time and space for us to enjoy this hobby.
That's the one.
I think he might have been leaving that one out. I think he might have been leaving that one out, Phil.
Got
Going
baited
on
in.
here. Is there a bit of dirt behind the scenes I need to know about? No. Look, awesome chatting to you boys once again. Congratulations on your P3 tonight in the feature there, Jay. And, of course, Phil, another win, buddy. W after W. Let's hopefully you can make it back next week to keep that championship fight alive, buddy. So, well done, boys.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Mr. Weapon Gretton, we have come to the end of another F3 broadcast, buddy. That was carnage galore tonight. You were calling a clean sheet. Well, we got far from that, buddy.
Well, bold. You called it bold. The 5 safety car calls. So I thought, well, let's go bold again. We've got concrete everywhere. The track's bumpy. Let's call a clean skin 0 stop race just to throw it in there. Wonder what I'll guess next week or the week after that, Cowie.
Well, the Wall of Champions. Wall of Champions is known for claiming its fair share of victims, World Championship victims, so we may well see that. But I suppose for tonight, that will bring us to the end of our broadcast of the Shannons Formula 3 Nationals here at Detroit Belle Isle. As always, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please give us a like and subscribe. We are getting so close to the 1,000 subscribers where that great rig will get auctioned. Well, not auctioned off, but it'll get off to sent off to one of our great subscribers. Of course, hashtag Racing for Eddie. Great. Thanks to all the fishy boys out there, and we really feel sorry for everything that's happened with Eddie and his family, but wish them the best, and it's great to see, you boys giving them all the support as well. Of course, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve next week for the F3s. We've still got 86s and the multi-class series this week, as well as the V8 Pro Am on Sunday, guys. Plenty of racing at SRW TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But this is Cowie, your average sim racer. That is Peter, the Weapon Gretton. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time on SRW TV.
The title on this